Hello, my name is Angus Warburg, and I'm a part-time English teacher from Shropshire in England. I graduated my TEFL in 2019 in Prague, and I've been teaching a bit since then, but mostly I've been studying English literature at Cambridge University, where I am in this room. My hobbies include playing the piano and reading, and I like going for walks as well. And I have a classic RP accent. So I'm now back home in Shropshire, and I'm going to talk about the languages that I've learnt. So I can speak sort of intermediate, upper intermediate French, and I can speak Spanish and a little bit of Spanish and a little bit of Japanese. And I've also been learning Old English for my literature course. I think the hardest thing for me about languages is grammar, but I want to teach you in a way that is going to be you naturally acquiring grammar and not acquiring it in a strict regimented classroom style way. I think it's a much better way to learn the grammar of a language, to pick it up naturally. That said, I will teach you specific grammar points if you want. I've done 120 hours of TEFL training that involved teaching all levels of English learners in Prague, and I've also taught or been a teaching assistant in a primary school near where I live, and I was teaching or helping to assist the teacher teach English, maths, science, and everything in between. I hope my knowledge of the classroom will come in handy when I'm teaching you. So I can help you with exam preparation, but my main aim is to have a conversation with you, really. With that said, I might get you to do some reading and writing, which I think is very good for improving your fluency in the language. It's possible I'll get you to do some literary classes if you're a higher level. We could read a short story or something and talk about it. I'll also definitely give you suggestions for TV shows, films, and books that you could pick up on and study outside of the class if you have time. At the end of each lesson, I'll give you corrections that will form part of your ongoing document. I'll also give you a vocabulary sheet that will help, which you can learn in between. So now I'm going to take you through a little demo lesson. It'll be very short. It's just a piece of grammar. So the sentence here, we something for about an hour when suddenly the plane began to lose height. So this is either had been flying, were flying, or flew. So my first question is this sentence talking about the past, the present, or the future? And we know it's the past because it's for about an hour, which is the amount of time in the past. So we'll put it on here on the timeline. And how many actions are there? Well, the plane had been flying and it began to lose height. So there are two actions. Is been flying a long action or a short action? Is it a sort of state of an action, or is it a single short action? Well, it's a long action, and we know this because it happened for an hour. Then the plane began to lose height. Is that a long action or a short action? Well, how do we know from the text? Well, it says here suddenly, so we know that it's a short action. Now, does it matter which order these actions happened in? In other words, could one happen before the other and it wouldn't make a difference? Well, yes, it does matter because the plane can't suddenly lose height if it hadn't been flying. So the events are connected. And so what do we call it when two events are connected? Well, we call it a relationship. So these sentences are used to talk about events with a relationship which happen in the past. So that is the subject plus had been plus an ing verb, which is known as the past perfect continuous. And if we were in a real lesson with me, I'd get you to tell me why it's the past perfect continuous, but we don't really have time at the moment. So yes, I hope this was a good demonstration of some grammar that I might have taught you. If it's too complicated, I'll obviously do more simple grammar in your lessons, and if it's too easy, then I'll do more complicated grammar. But hopefully I gave you a flavour of my lessons, and I hope to see you soon.